Hello everyone! One of these projects cost $25 billion, another can recreate the power of a star, and one is helping humanity prepare for life on Mars. If you enjoy incredible engineering and mega projects, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get into it. What if an entire city was built for rockets? That's exactly what's happening at Starbase, Texas. Built by SpaceX near the Gulf Coast, Starbase is transforming from a launch site into a full-scale aerospace city. The complex covers thousands of acres and serves as the primary testing and launch facility for Starship, the largest and most powerful rocket ever built. The numbers are staggering. A fully stacked Starship system stands approximately 121 meters tall, making it taller than a 40-story building. The rocket generates up to 16 million pounds of thrust at liftoff, more than twice the power of the Saturn V rocket that carried astronauts to the moon. SpaceX employs thousands of workers at Starbase, and construction continues around the clock as new launch towers, factories, and testing facilities rise from the Texas coastline. And here's the mind-blowing part. The ultimate goal is to produce Starships at a rate of hundreds per year, potentially making Starbase one of the largest rocket production facilities ever created. It's not just a launch site, it's the foundation of humanity's future missions to Mars. This project was so complex that it had to unfold itself in space. The James Webb Space Telescope is the most powerful space observatory ever built. Developed over more than 25 years, the project cost approximately $10 billion and involved thousands of scientists, engineers, and technicians from around the world. The telescope's primary mirror measures 6.5 meters across and consists of 18 gold-coated segments that unfold after launch. Its sunshield is roughly the size of a tennis court, protecting the instruments from temperatures that can exceed 100 degrees Celsius on one side while remaining below minus 230 degrees Celsius on the other. Launched aboard an Ariane 5 rocket in 2021, Webb traveled nearly 1.5 million kilometers from Earth to reach its operating position. And here's the incredible part. The telescope can detect light that has traveled for more than 13 billion years, allowing scientists to look back in time and observe some of the earliest galaxies ever formed. It's not just a telescope, it's a time machine pointed at the beginning of the universe. What if a fighter jet could teach itself how to fly? The X-62A Vista is one of the most advanced experimental aircraft ever created. Built from an F-16 fighter jet, it was modified by the U.S. Air Force and researchers to test artificial intelligence in real flight conditions. The aircraft can reach speeds of over 2,100 kilometers per hour, climb to altitudes above 15,000 meters, and pull up to 9 Gs during extreme maneuvers. But here's what makes it revolutionary. In 2024, AI systems on board the X-62A successfully controlled the aircraft during aerial combat tests, making real-time decisions while flying against human pilots. The project represents decades of research and millions of dollars in development, pushing military aviation toward a future where AI may assist or even control fighter aircraft. And here's the mind-blowing part. At top speed, the jet can travel faster than a rifle bullet fired from some firearms. It's not just a fighter jet, it's a glimpse into the future of autonomous air combat. Imagine spending $2.3 billion on a building that's used mainly for entertainment. That's exactly what happened with the Las Vegas Sphere. Standing 112 meters tall and 157 meters wide, the Sphere is the largest spherical structure ever built. Its exterior is covered by approximately 1.2 million LED panels, creating a gigantic screen visible from kilometers away. But the real magic is inside. The venue can host nearly 18,600 seated guests and over 20,000 people in total. A massive 16K resolution display wraps around the audience, making it the highest resolution LED screen ever installed in an entertainment venue. And here's the mind-blowing part. The interior screen covers more than 54,000 square meters, larger than several football fields combined. At night, the entire building can transform into a giant eyeball, a basketball, Earth, or almost anything engineers can imagine. It's not just a building. It's one of the most technologically advanced entertainment venues ever created. What if you could recreate the power of a star here on Earth? That's the mission of the National Ignition Facility, one of the most ambitious scientific projects ever built. Located in California, this massive complex houses 192 giant lasers capable of delivering more than 2 million joules of energy onto a target smaller than a pea. The facility itself covers an area roughly equal to 3 football fields. The project cost approximately $3.5 billion and took years to construct. During an experiment, all 192 lasers fire simultaneously, generating temperatures of more than 100 million degrees Celsius, hotter than the core of the sun. But here's the incredible part. In 2022, scientists achieved a historic breakthrough by producing more fusion energy from the fuel target than the laser energy delivered directly to it, something researchers had pursued for decades. For a fraction of a second, the facility created conditions similar to those inside a star. It's not just a laboratory, it's one of humanity's biggest steps toward virtually unlimited clean energy. This power plant doesn't burn coal. It doesn't burn gas. It runs entirely on sunlight. The Gemini Solar Project in Nevada covers more than 7,000 acres, an area larger than 5,000 football fields. The facility contains nearly 1.8 million solar panels and cost approximately $1 billion to build. At full capacity, the project generates 690 megawatts of electricity, enough to power around 400,000 homes. But here's the mind-blowing part. The site also includes one of the largest battery storage systems in the United States, capable of storing over 1,400 megawatt-hours of energy for use after sunset. Every year, the project prevents hundreds of thousands of tons of carbon emissions while producing enough electricity to power a city. What looks like a field of panels is actually one of the largest clean energy machines ever built. What do you do when there is no space left to build in New York? You build an entire neighborhood above a rail yard. The Hudson Yards Megaproject transformed 28 acres of Manhattan into a futuristic district filled with skyscrapers, offices, luxury apartments, parks, and shopping centers. The project cost an astonishing $25 billion, making it one of the most expensive real estate developments in American history. Construction required engineers to build a massive platform supported by hundreds of giant columns above an active rail yard that continues to operate beneath the complex. But the numbers are even more impressive. Hudson Yards contains more than 18 million square feet of space and includes some of the tallest residential towers in New York City. And here's the incredible part. Before construction began, the site was little more than a maze of train tracks. Today, it's an entire city district, built where many thought construction would be impossible. It's not just a development project, it's a city built on top of another city. Imagine building a stadium so large it becomes a landmark visible from kilometers away. This futuristic megastructure appears to combine a massive sports arena with an entire transportation network wrapped around it. The circular complex spans hundreds of meters in diameter, while the surrounding road system stretches across the hillside like a giant concrete spiral. A modern stadium of this scale could accommodate more than 100,000 spectators, generate hundreds of millions of dollars in annual revenue, and require billions of dollars to construct. But here's the mind-blowing part. During a major event, a venue like this could move more people in a few hours than some small cities handle in an entire day. It's not just a stadium, it's a city-sized machine built for entertainment. For nearly 38 kilometers, this bridge never touches land. The Lake Pontchartrain Causeway in Louisiana is one of the longest bridges over water ever built. Stretching an incredible 38.4 kilometers, it crosses the entire lake and can take drivers more than 20 minutes to reach the other side. The bridge consists of two parallel spans supported by over 9,500 concrete pilings driven deep into the lakebed. Construction began in 1955, and the original bridge cost approximately $30 million, equivalent to hundreds of millions today. But here's the mind-blowing part. On foggy days, drivers can travel so far from shore that land completely disappears from view, making it feel as though they're driving across the open ocean. More than 30,000 vehicles use the causeway every day, making it one of the most important transportation links in Louisiana. What looks like an endless road is actually one of the greatest bridge engineering achievements ever built over water. Hidden deep within the mountains of southwest China sits a machine so massive it can literally detect signals from the edge of the universe. This is FAST, the 500-meter aperture spherical telescope, the largest filled aperture radio telescope on Earth. The dish stretches nearly 1,650 feet across, large enough to fit about 30 football fields inside it. And unlike ordinary telescopes that observe light, FAST listens to radio waves traveling through space from billions of light years away. The telescope is so sensitive that scientists say it could detect a signal equivalent to a single mobile phone from the distance of the moon. To reduce interference, entire villages around the site were relocated, creating one of the quietest radio environments on the planet. But what makes FAST feel almost unreal is the landscape itself. The giant reflective dish sits perfectly inside a natural mountain depression, making the entire structure look less like a human construction and more like a portal built into the Earth itself. What if engineers built a highway around a giant hole in the middle of the ocean? This incredible megastructure looks like something from a science fiction movie. Massive circular roadways surround a gigantic central shaft while powerful waves crash against the outer walls day and night. A project of this scale would require millions of tons of concrete and steel, cost billions of dollars, and withstand the force of storms capable of generating waves over 20 meters high. But here's the mind-blowing part. The central opening could be used for deep-sea research, power generation, transportation, or even as part of a futuristic offshore city. Thousands of vehicles could travel through the structure every day while engineers monitor one of the harshest environments on Earth. It's not just a bridge, it's a city-sized machine built in the middle of the ocean. Beijing Capital International Airport was designed to handle a scale that barely feels real. Built for the 2008 Olympics, the massive Terminal 3 stretches more than 2 miles in length, making it one of the largest airport terminals ever constructed on Earth. From above, building almost looks like a giant red and gold dragon placed across the runway. The airport was designed by world-famous architect Norman Foster, and at peak capacity, it was built to handle more than 100 million passengers every single year. Inside, the terminal feels more like a futuristic city than an airport, with enormous glass ceilings, endless corridors, high-speed transport systems, and enough space to fit dozens of football fields beneath the roof. What makes the project even more impressive is the speed of construction. The entire terminal was completed in just 4 years, an almost unbelievable timeline for a structure of this scale. Imagine driving through a mountain range without ever slowing down. Projects like this represent the future of transportation engineering. By combining massive tunnels, elevated highways, and spiral interchanges, engineers can connect regions that were once separated by some of the world's most difficult terrain. China alone has built hundreds of thousands of kilometers of highways, including bridges and tunnels that cost billions of dollars and take years to complete. Some mountain expressways include tunnels stretching more than 18 kilometers and bridges suspended hundreds of meters above the ground. But here's the incredible part. A journey that once took 8 to 10 hours through winding mountain roads can now be completed in just 2 or 3 hours. What looks like a giant maze of roads is actually one of humanity's greatest engineering achievements. A machine built from concrete, steel, and pure ambition. Imagine driving across the sea for nearly 30 kilometers without ever leaving the bridge. That's exactly what the Jiaozhou Bay Bridge in China makes possible. Opened in 2011, this engineering giant stretches approximately 26.7 kilometers across Jiaozhou Bay, connecting the city of Qingdao with the Huangdao district. At the time of its completion, it was recognized as one of the longest sea-crossing bridges in the world. The project required more than 450,000 tons of steel, enough to build dozens of Eiffel Towers, and cost around $1.5 billion. More than 10,000 workers participated in its construction, supported by over 5,000 concrete pillars. The bridge was designed to withstand powerful earthquakes, typhoons, and even collisions from large ships. And here's the incredible part. The bridge cuts travel time across the bay by up to 30 minutes, saving millions of hours for drivers every year.